Good day, my fellow learners. Today we are going to do the basic introduction of what? Of probability. The basic introduction of what? Of probability. By definition, the probability, it is how likely an event to occur, or a likelihood that an event will occur. It is a likelihood that an event will occur. Bear in mind, it is a likelihood. It's more like a chances that a situation might happen, or an event in this situation might happen. Do you understand? Then now, one thing that a learner must know as well is that a probability ranges from 0 till 1. We call that what? A probability scale. Probability scale. It ranges from 0 till 1. Whenever the probability of something is 0, we say such event, it is impossible to happen. Somehow it will never happen. It is impossible for that event or for that situation to take place. Then now, whenever we have 1, or the probability is equals to 1, such events, they are certain, or they will always take place. Then we also have a situation whereby we find a probability between 0 and 1. For this sake, we'll take 1/2. For such cases, we say the probability is likely to happen. And another thing that a learner must bear in mind is that the probability can be written in different formats. Firstly, we can see that this 1/2 is a fraction. It can be written in a fraction format, or another way of writing 1/2, it can be written in a form of a decimal. It can be written in a form of a decimal. Lastly, again, it can be written as well in a form of a percentage. You just need to multiply these things by 100. 1/2 or 0.5 multiplied by 100, we get 50%. Then 1, whenever we multiply 1 by 100, we are always to get 100, which is 100% in this note. Then this one is our percentage format. We call this a probability scale. I hope you are following. From here, I'm going to show you the formula of the probability. It is so simple. It is given by the probability of event E, which is equals to the number of event divided by the number of what? Of a sample space. We have the probability. Here we have the probability of certain event. We have the probability of event. Then our numerator, it will be a number of what? A number of event. Then divided by a number, divided by a number of a sample space. A sample space. What I'm going to do from here, I'm going to take these two terms, element as well as what? As sample space, and try to explain these two terms aside. Firstly, we have what? An element. An element. An element represents a set. A set of what? Of a favorable outcome. This represents our event. A set of what? Of favorable outcome. We also have what? The sample space. Let me write it here. The sample space. The sample space. In a layman terms, I call the sample space everything. Everything. It's a set of all. Mind you, all, everything, all. Set of all possible outcomes. I hope you are following, my fellow learners. Then from here, what I'm going to do, my fellow learners, I'm going to take a simple example for us to understand this formula. I'm going to use an example of what? Of a coin. Suppose I have a coin. We all know that a coin is made up of two sides, of which maybe the first, let's say the first one for this example will be head. Then the second one, it will be what? Tail. These are the possible outcomes. We have outcome H, these. We have outcomes. These are the possible outcomes. Head and what? And tail for a coin. Then now, if I were to ask you somehow to write the set format for what? For the sample space. Sample space. How are you going to write the set of a coin for the sample space? Let's say we toss a coin once. The only possible outcome, it will be as follows. All possible outcome whenever we toss a coin only once. Then for set, it will be H, then T. This is a set of what? Of our sample space. By definition, a set, it's a collection. It's a collection of outcome. Some they say element. Let us say element. It's a collection of what? Of elements. Collection of, let me write it here, elements. Collection of elements. That's a set. Then now, mind this, my fellow learners. We also have a different notation, which is N. It's equals to what? S. Do you still remember the number of what? Of the sample space. These two notation, number of sample space with the sample space, they are totally different. Whenever I give you S, or let's say in width, a sample space, you just need to write it in this format. Whenever next to S I put bracket, then I put N. Then from here you are going to count each outcome inside your set. Then your final answer for this one is going to be 2. We only have 2 outcomes for our set of a sample space. Then now, how are you going to write this one if I were to give you n number of hits from our all outcomes? We only have 1 hit. Then for your answer, you just need to write 1. It also applies to T or our T. We only have 1 T, right? 1. Suppose by chance I ask you this question to say, my fellow learners, calculate the probability of H. By definition, or by using this formula, where you see E, you are going to substitute your outcome, which is H. Then your formula will be as follows: NH divided by NS. From here, let us substitute. We have 1 for our H. We also have 2 for what? For our sample space. Then 1/2 is going to be our final answer, which is likely 2. Okay. Why? Because it is between 0 and 1. This is how we do such problems of calculating what? The probability of H in this situation. I hope you understand. Then yeah, my fellow learners, this was just a basic introduction to probability. I hope you enjoyed. I thank you. Don't forget to hit that button for more.